Hello and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. As long as a family, we chose this one. This is Christmas in July, episode 363, Scrooged from 1988. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe, too. And this episode is brought to you by Ghost Cult Magazine. Ghost Cult Magazine was established in 2012 and is a music, news, interviews, and news portal dedicated to covering rock, metal, punk, and hardcore bands. Check out Ghost Cult Magazine.
Well, shout out to Ghost Cult. Ghost Cult, that's hard to say. I don't know why that's hard to say. Ghost Cult.
A little tongue tie.
Coastal Grand Bros?
Ghostal Grand Bros? I like that. That's fun.
Ooh. We are here to talk about the next 80s cult classic, Scrooge. Now, when we got the list from Michael and Josh...
Yes.
I was like, oh, we're not in December. I'm like, and I was just trying to figure out, like, do things line up time-wise? And I was trying to put, like, summary movies in the summer.
Because which one did we bumble before? We, like, bumbled one that was, like, we did it in a lab, and it was like, oh, we should have done this today. Remember, we had one that we fucked.
There was one or two really big ones, and I don't remember what they were. I think I probably blocked it out for PTSD reasons. But I was like, oh, we're not in Christmas, so we can't, we're not in December, so we can't do this. It doesn't matter, so whatever. And then we had to reschedule one for a guest because it's a holiday week we're recording. And so here we are doing Scrooge, but it's Christmas in July. It kind of makes sense. That's a thing.
I like it. Yeah, that is a thing.
So, Joe, Scrooged, before we get into the backstory of this, had you seen this movie or is this one that you had not seen?
Seen this movie a bajillion times. Okay. My father loves this movie. I love Bill Murray. I'm a notorious Scrooge.
True.
So that fits.
True.
I find this movie very funny, so yes, I'm a big fan and have seen this movie before. How about you, sir? I know you love Christmas movies.
I don't. I've seen this once. I saw it
only once. Okay.
6 years ago.
It plays on like Comedy Central a lot. You know.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
I'm not.
I know
I've
you're
never
not
been
like
the
a
kind who just
channel.
Like, watch TV. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why. It feels like one that I had meant to see for a while, but I never did. And I watched it once. I'm just like, yeah, it's good. I like it.
It's cute, yeah.
So here we are the second time around. Margaret, who does love Christmas, has not seen this. She loves other Christmas Carol adaptations.
That's perfect.
But she has not seen this.
She loves Christmas. You love Christmas.
I don't. I feel like when going back to Josh and Michael, and they're like, you like Christmas movies, you like musical, or Joe hates music. I'm just like, well, kind of. I mean, they're trying to like dunk on us all, but I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, we always like upplay.
Oh, I know
all of the.
But you do hate musicals.
For the most part, I hate musicals. Yeah. I definitely hate Christmas. That's a fact. Like,
but you like Scrooge.
Love Scrooged. Yeah.
So Scrooge, 1988, not streaming for free anywhere. A selfish, cynical television. Well, maybe it's because it's summer. I don't know.
It's weird. It felt weird.
A selfish, cynical television executive is haunted by three spirits bearing lessons on Christmas Eve, directed by Richard Donner, who did The Goonies, Lethal Weapon, Superman. This movie was done between Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon 2, so we did those two movies in between. She's like, I'm going to do a Christmas movie. Written by Charles Dickens, heard of him. Adapted by Mitch Glazer, who did A Very Merry Christmas, which, shout out to Uncle Francis, was directed by Sofia Coppola. He also wrote the movie The Recruit, and also written by Michael O'Donoghue, who, as far as I can tell, has not produced anything really of note. Also written anything of note. Produced by Richard Donner, produced by Art Linson, who did Fight Club and Heat. Produced by Raymond Hartwick, who did The Untouchables. Produced by Jenny Lou Tugend, who did Lethal Weapon and Free Willy. Shot by Michael Chapman, who did Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and Space Jam. Someone named Conrad L. Hall was hired to shoot this movie. 5 days into filming, got fired, and was replaced by Michael Chapman. So just like, oh, give me the guy who shot Raging Bull.
How Fast and Furious of them to change directors in the beginning of shooting.
It just feels like this is kind of the thing where, like, Richard Donner is a successful guy. They're making a Christmas movie. There is an adaptation of a thing that's been adapted a bunch of times. You got a star back in the fold. People are just like, we'll produce it. We'll shoot it. Whatever.
Send it, yeah.
Budget of $32 million, made $60 million domestically, $100 million total worldwide, which was a disappointment to Bill Murray, apparently, because Ghostbusters, 4 years earlier, had become the highest grossing comedy film ever. That movie comes out, Bill Murray's like, I'm good. I don't need any more money. I'm set. I'm going to retire. And he retires from movie making. He no longer acts.
Wow.
This is his return to acting 4 years later. He's like, look, Christmas movie, Bill Murray, this is going to be a hit. And, like, it's kind of a hit. Not really. Kind of bums him out. I'll get more on that later. But eventually, over time, has become indeed his cult classic. So, does fit the lap. Even though it was successful, but it wasn't as successful as I think people were expecting it to be.
I think it's successful. I mean, and then also you didn't that precedes the longevity of this film, right?
Yes, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, he's disappointed at the box office immediately after the film comes out, and it's like, Welp, they play it on loop pretty much the entire month of December, and it is a cult classic.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you have like a movie that's a Christmas movie, you have a movie that's another holiday, you have like a Pride Month movie, like whatever. Like, it's just like if you
Groundhog Day, he loves these.
If you make a thing that becomes tied to a time of year, or like Mean Girls, where it's like he asked me the date, it's October 4th or whatever. Like, I mean, Mean Girls is doing fine on its own, but like,
exactly.
If you get tied to a date where people watch your movie every year on the date, like, you're gonna be set for forever.
Doing pretty good, yeah.
71 on Rotten Tomatoes, also 71 by the audience on Rotten Tomatoes. The consensus Scrooged gets by with Bill Murray and a dash of holiday spirit, although it's hampered by a markedly conflicted tone and an undercurrent of mean-spiritedness. Despite having a 71 on Rotten Tomatoes, only a 38 on Metacritic. And the noteworthy thing I saw was that Roger Ebert said this was the worst film adaptation of A Christmas Carol he had ever seen.
Wow.
And I can tell you, we watched one, I mean, it came out way after this, but we watched one for Cage Club. Like, Nicolas Cage plays a voice of a ghost, I think, in an animated Christmas Carol that was so goddamn boring. I mean, that's like way, like, that's in the 90s or the 2000s or something, but like, so this came out before, but like, yeah, I don't know. Ebert hated this movie.
That just feels weird that generally anybody would hate this movie. It's like I think it's like actually one of the best adaptations of anything I've ever seen, because it's like a fun spin play on it. You know what I mean? Like, I find that very interesting. It's not the same story with just different actors.
I think it works because it's weird, but I can see if you're going in like, all right, Bill Murray comedy,
Christmas,
baby.
No. If you go in and you're like, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas story ever. I cannot wait to see Bill Murray play this adaptation. And then it just gets fucking weird. You'd be like, what are you doing? But yes, I understand. That's why I like it, though. I really enjoy it.
I think if you're looking for one specific thing, either a Bill Murray thing or a Christmas thing or a Christmas Carol or whatever, it doesn't work. But if you're like, I'm just going to roll with whatever this is, it's a weird, like you're fun saying, movie. It's unconventional. I think it works.
Yes. Awesome.
All right, Joe, we got 4 crazy credits.
Okay, what are they? I didn't even watch the credits. Go ahead.
Number 1.
There's a song playing during the credits. Is that one of them? Come on, that has to be the first one.
That's the last one.
Put a Little Love in Your Heart is being sung.
That's the fourth one. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Number 1.
Sorry. Go ahead.
About a third of the way through the closing credits, Bill Murray appears with the word Scrooged across the screen in front of him. He looks down and brushes the front of his jacket a few times, with each brush, a couple of the letters in the title chase off the screen, as if he's brushing them off his jacket.
Wow.
Honestly, I mean, look, mild, but compared to other things we've seen, kind of a crazy credit. Or maybe not even. It's not the original spirit, but it's something I think maybe worth noting.
Considering I didn't watch it this time, I think that's not bad. We've seen a lot worse. How many up?
25 up.
Yes.
0 down.
Perfect. Excellent.
Number 2, dedicated with love and affection to Anne Ramsey, Roger M. Rothstein, Robert Scaife. We miss you. ... 20 up, 2 down.
Just some dead people.
I guess so.
Okay.
The Paramount logo, number 3. The Paramount logo at the start of the film zooms in and transforms into a cloudy night sky with the film's title appearing. 5 up, 1 down.
I did see that one, yeah.
I would be worried if you didn't.
Okay.
Oh, gotta take a note. What movie this is? This is Scrooged. Oh, I just missed it. Okay. And number 4, what you mentioned earlier, the cast burst into song for the start of the credits. The professional version of Put a Little Love in Your Heart continues for the rest of the credits.
Yes.
0 up, 1 down.
We found the first negative crazy credit.
And that one, honestly, again, none of these are actually crazy credits, but it's like, hey, it starts with a cast version, becomes a real version. Again, kind of worth noting, but somebody's just like, nope.
I want to know when that was that has to be.
I don't know if they have. Let me see if they have dates.
Because we got to see. These have to be like lingering for like 30 years. Like these have to be as old as the film at this point. Didn't somebody just tell us a weird IMDb fact?
Walt was telling about how it started as like IRC forums or something, right? Like it was just like that.
Something like that, but wait, I think Rachel's aunt just told us a story. I thought it was IMDb, it might be Wikipedia, and she put like one of the first articles about something up that like still exists, and it was her just like talking about a movie or so. Okay, never mind. I thought it was I thought maybe it was you, maybe it was her, and I can't remember where it came from. Scratch that, reverse it. Go ahead.
Okay. So trivia, filming began in December of 1987, the month in which I was born. With Christmas approaching, Richard Donner asked Paramount, hey, could we, give Christmas Day off to the cast and crew? Because, we're making A Christmas Carol famously about a guy who makes people work on Christmas.
Yeah,
and Paramount was like, fuck off, you gotta work. And so Richard Donner said, okay, everyone's fired on Christmas Eve. They finished the shooting. He's like, you're all fired. And then the day after Christmas, he rehired them all back. But, I can't imagine how tone deaf you have to be
fucking
we're adapting A Christmas Carol, and you all have to work on Christmas.
It's incredible. That's top tier. That's the craziest credit I've heard so far. Not a credit, but that's a really fun fact. Wow, awesome. And then he saved the day, just like Ebenezer himself.
Mm-hmm. There is also something, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but even though it's coming, every single version of this ends with the Ebenezer Scrooge character being like, you know what? I don't have to be a shitbag. I could be a good guy. And he's a nice guy. There's something I think genuinely not surprising about that, but nice to see. It's just yeah, look.
I'll explain how that ties into exactly why I hate Christmas.
Well, I know. I know that. And I knew that.
No, but I do like it. I do like it.
That.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this was Bill Murray's first starring role. I guess maybe he'd been in Little Things, I don't know, but his first starring role since Ghostbusters. He'd been living in Paris and was considering giving up acting altogether, but he comes back, and it seems like he had a hell of a time in a bad way making this movie.
Like how? Like on set or like what? So making it, getting there. What is it?
So there's minor things, there's bigger things. So when he is in the restaurant, he's hallucinating the ghost, right? He sees the waiter on fire and he dumps the water or whatever, and he
yeah, it's a baked Alaska. You don't want that. Also, I have a good note about that too. Go ahead. Tell me the first part.
So he splashes the water. He's like, "Oh, I thought you were Richard Pryor."
Yes. Do you know this joke? Do you know where that comes from? That's where I was getting.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, also the Kanye lyric, "I'm on fire, man. What would Richard Pryor say?"
But do you know the original of this?
Well, yeah, Richard Pryor lit himself on fire trying to kill himself.
No, he was freebasing crack.
Was that it?
He's freebasing cocaine, and he caught himself on fire, yes. So there was a period of time where there was all these Richard Pryor jokes, and when Richard Pryor does his first stand-up when he comes back, after this happened, he was hospital, he was running down the street. He caught his fro on fire, freebasing crack.
Well,
he was running down the street.
I saw a documentary about him forever ago. So I remember this happened, but I did not. I mean, now I kind of remember the crack thing, but
Richard Pryor does his stand-up special when he comes back, and he ends the entire special with the bar room joke that they would tell. Everybody would tell this joke is that you light a match and you go and you just move it, and it's what is this? And it's Richard Pryor running down the street, and Richard Pryor ends his stand-up special doing the joke to just kill it right there, and it's awesome. It's one of the coolest full circle comedy moments in my that I've ever heard of, right? That you take the joke and you're just nope, it's mine now. And when you steal the joke back, what are they going to do? Richard Pryor did the joke on TV. You can't do the joke anymore. It's dead, right?
Yeah.
He killed it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Either way, them throwing a Richard Pryor joke in here, very 80s of the time, right?
Yes. And the lyric I looked up while you were was from New God Flow, the Pusha T Kanye West song.
Yeah.
I'm on fire. Yeah. What would Richard Pryor say? Or that's what Richard Pryor say. He dumps the water on the guy.
Yep.
He then, walking out of the restaurant, slips and falls because he dumped the water on the steps and then walked on the wet steps and slipped and fell, so he hurt himself there.
Ah.
When Carol Kane grabbed his lip, it tore so badly that the film halt filming for a couple days.
What?
He said he hated working with Richard Donner. Roger Ebert, apparently in bashing this movie, whatever, said, "Did you get along?" He had heard about disagreements. He's like, "Did you what tell me about your work with
Which
Richard Donner?"
Which one's Richard Donner?
The director.
Okay.
The guy who made Superman, the guy who made Lethal Weapon. Replied, "Only had a few disagreements every single minute of the day. They could have been a really, really great movie. The script was so good. There's maybe one take in the final cut that's mine. We did it so fast. It was like doing a movie live. He kept telling me to do things louder, louder, louder. I think he was deaf.
Okay, well, okay. Well, I want to see the version of this movie that Bill Murray thinks is the good version.
Well, so Bill Murray also ad-libbed most of his lines, and Richard Donner was just like, it's like standing on 42nd Street and Broadway, the lights are out, you're the traffic cop. So, like, it just seemed like they have totally opposite ways of making a movie.
Yes. Bill Murray's like, let me kind of do this ad lib, let me kind of do this improv style, and he was like, no, stick to the script.
Yep.
But Bill Murray's the one saying that the script was really good, and
Yep.
He's the one saying you didn't fucking read the script. So
Yep.
Okay, weird. But yes, you're right. Now this just seems like a clash of personalities. Like I don't think either of them would have succeeded. Like they just can't coexist.
They also said that Bill Murray, before he joined the movie, was like, this script sucks, you gotta rewrite it. So they rewrote it, and they brought in Elaine May to rewrite it, and he, like, in one night, she, like, completely redid it, and so he was very happy about that. But, like, he said he felt rusty after not having really acted for 4 years. He just doesn't like his performance in this, which is probably also part of it. He also turned down the lead roles in Rain Man, Big, and Cocktail to make this. Three
Jesus fuck.
Three movies that are all Tom Tom Club. Rain Man and Cocktail, both Cruise, and Big, Tom Hanks. So those are all huge movies. I mean, this is a huge movie too, but like those are all huge movies. Well, Cocktail's not a huge movie, but Cocktail's a fun movie.
Cocktail's pretty big. I mean, like people know Cocktail, but
people know Cocktail,
yes,
but not as, it's not.
It's not
like
Scrooge
this.
or Rain Man. Yes, I agree.
And
big, not big.
Only other note that I have before we get into talk about the movie is that all of his brothers are in the movie. All the brothers who act. John Murray, Joel Murray, and Brian Doyle Murray. John is his brother in this movie. Joel is one of the guests at John's party, and Brian is his on-screen father when he comes back on the Ghost of Christmas Past and gives him the fish or the steak or whatever.
Yeah. The veal. 5 pounds of veal.
That's one of his brothers. So there's a lot of Murrays in this movie.
That's really cute. I like that too. That's a nice touch. I like it. I didn't know that.
So let's get into it. Scrooged from 1988. I know you said you like it, but when did you first see this? What do you love about it? And why do you hate Christmas?
I watched this movie first a long time ago when I was really young. I don't know when, probably like around 10, 12 at the most. But yeah, 10 or younger. I just remember watching it on TV. I probably caught it like in the middle of it or something to start. And I just really, really enjoyed it. I like Bill Murray. Bill Murray was big at the time, right? You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Bill Murray seems to resonate with kids a lot. Like, at least I think like preteens. You know what I mean? Like, I find him very funny in the same sense that like you would find like Jim Carrey funny or something,
no, I think
right?
This whole lap, well, not the whole lap, but like when we have been doing, actually, it's not at all the whole lap. It's been the Patreon bonus episodes Michael began, like the Spaceballs and the Airplane. The last couple of laps, it's like that's the same comedy, right? Like it's like
exactly, yeah.
It's like it's
half a slapstick, a little bit of jokes, yeah.
Pretty safe for kids, but also like kids feel like they're getting away with something.
Yeah, if kids feel like they're getting away with something, and there is jokes for adults that kids won't get. You know what I mean? Like the Richard Pryor one, for example, right? Like you wouldn't have got that as a kid, but like your dad would have laughed. Been like,
I did not remember. So, like, I think I was confused by, maybe it was Spaceballs, again, bringing that up. That was the Patreon bonus episode. But I was surprised that this was as scary and kind of gross as it is. I mean, because I was thinking it was PG,
really?
But it's PG-13, which makes more sense. But I was just like, I was sort of expecting a more family-friendly version. Like, it's kind of gnarly at times. Like, not like
it
supremely
is. I like
gross,
it.
but like, it's kind of gross.
It's kind of gross. It kind of has a dark tone to it, a dark feel to it. And these are all the reasons why I really like it. Because, like, you know, when I think of Christmas movies, I think of, like, It's a Wonderful Life and these kind of shitty, terrible Christmas movies. And in that sense that they're, like, you know, just, like, wholesome and, like, oh, my God, there's a fake moral and stuff like that. To see something that's, like, half a Die Hard in the middle of it for no reason and like scary and then like weird and like nut shots in it and stuff like that, I was like, this fucking rocks. They should make and to this day it's probably because of Scrooge that I really like off-kilt holiday things. Like I like weird holiday traditions that feel strange and stuff like that. Like those I can get into, but like the traditionalism and like the like let's all just like sit around and play a game and these kind of shits. I'm like, that's boring as shit. I don't want to see that. I don't care.
I think there's also something about this that's like kind of like it's kind of Ghostbusters-y. Like there are ghosts obviously, but there's the kind of effects that like it's just like
when he opens
interesting too.
Yeah, like when he opens Ghosts of Christmas Future's jacket and it's like just like those people in the rib cage. I think that's a really, really cool effect. Yeah.
It's just cool. Like it's something about this that is like, okay, like going back to the very beginning of the movie,
yes,
where we open with the North Pole under attack and Santa's like pulling out like machine guns and stuff. Just like
I want to see that movie. So you know how when we talk about like Machete was like an idea in Grindhouse and then became a movie. I want to see that movie so badly. That's like the first note that I have. It's like, holy shit, I want to see that movie.
It's Lee Majors, a $6 million man there to help, and I'm just like, how? What? Because again, I've only seen this movie once. I'm like, I know this isn't the movie, but I'm like, what is this? And then I'm like, oh, it's just like they're just watching TV on TV.
They're watching the previews that they're going to play on the channel for the movies coming up for Christmas, yeah.
Which, okay. The version of Scrooge they are adapting, there's also the meta thing of like, the movie we're watching is an adaptation of Christmas Carol, and they, in the movie, are adapting a Christmas Carol, right?
Yes, but they're making like this like... this like very trampy version of it that's going to be played on live TV, which by the way, I know that we just had like the Rose of Tom Brady and I know that we have live TV, but I don't really feel like they do these anymore.
Well, I was thinking about like, so the way that they pitch it, the way that feel like ad execs, like the dorks pitch it, is just like the holiday classic. And it's just like, you know, it's like an actor playing Charles Dickens in a chair being like, oh, hello, welcome to my lounge. And then Bill Murray pitches it like war, genocide,
yeah,
AIDS.
I know.
And like,
it's awesome. It's so much fun.
Awful, but I would be like, I gotta see what this is.
Insane. Yeah, there's an atomic bomb in the preview for this Scrooged, this Christmas Carol adaptation. Like, this shit gotta be fucking bananas.
It's so weird.
It's awesome. It's top tier. I'm hooked at that moment. Once I see that, I'm like, yep, this is great for my brain. I agree with you. I want to see that.
And like the version they have where it's like Mary Lou Retton as Tiny Tim and she just like does like this like tumbling thing through and like they have like the trampy dancers. It's just like, I don't like this probably isn't good, but like it would be like, have you seen the Star Wars holiday special?
No, I have not. We're watching it though, right? No, we're watching the other one, like the Ewoks.
We're watching
one.
Ewoks, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, the Star Wars holiday special is like famously one of the worst things ever been made. It's like 2 hours long, and it's just a bunch of Star Wars characters like that have no like they're just like minor characters. Like, let's just do a Christmas thing. Like, I've only seen it once, so I don't like I'm not like the expert on it. But It's like, oh, this is a mess, and this is just like, oh, this is this would be a mess to watch, but like it would be fascinating. It would be so good. Like this version would be awful, but also, and then in the world of the movie, to have the guy who like
is the boss
come out and like be like, you know what? I need
a moment,
and I love my ex-girlfriend.
I need a moment.
Like, what?
No. First of all, Joe, you skipped it. I know we're way at the end of the movie, but you skipped ahead a lot. It starts out that he walks on set, goes, there's mistletoe, and makes out with one of the cast members. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's like the worst boss. He's like the most like, not even just Harvey Weinstein, just like, you know, like he's just every kind of bad boss, Hollywood boss is like.
How can you get away with that? Like, that's like live sexual harassment in the workplace. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like on national TV. And I'm thinking to myself as I was watching it this time, like, man, like, how trampy does that girl have to be to, like, just be like, I'm into it? You know what I mean? Like,
is it that or to literally put the Weinstein on it, like she is afraid that she will get fired if she's not into it?
She's on live TV. What is she, like, you could just be like, and, like, turn. You know what I mean?
And then she gets fired. I mean, We don't need to go down the Me Too rabbit hole there, but it is wild.
It's bad from both ends for sure. No, it's amazingly bad for him, but I'm saying for her, I'm like, she's into it because it's part of the movie, right? So she's like, yeah, I'll make out with my boss on TV. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what is going on here? But okay, go ahead. Sorry, I was really hung up on that this time.
No, but to be watching this thing where like nothing makes sense. They have Mary Lou Retton for no reason other than just because like little girls like Mary Lou Retton.
As a person, like his brother, put yourself in that room. You're one of the characters. You're his brother. You're watching this. You're not watching the movie. You're watching Scrooge on TV. And then the boss just comes out and just like decides that he needs to like deliver a monologue. You'd be like, this is the unhinged ending of this that we needed. Mm-hmm. This is part of the show, right? It has to be that like this is how they're ending it. And you're like, this is part of the script, right? Like it's like so unhinged.
It feels like this would be the kind of thing that like would never get like or somehow like does not get recorded or taped or like it's obviously pre-TiVo or whatever. Like no one hasn't been like, did you see that thing on Friday night? It's just like, no, what was it? Like I can't even explain what it was. You
the
just
insanity
have to see it.
They're never gonna play it again.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but like, and you're like, there was these dancers and her tits were out, and then the boss comes out and makes out with a chick, and then he lifts up a picture of his brother and like calls out his girlfriend though or something that like doesn't seem
well. That's a good
like
question.
him.
Okay, do you think if this aired as it was with the craziness, with the like chaos of the actual planned thing, and then also Bill Murray's character Frank coming in the end being like, you know what, I do love Christmas, would this be shown every Christmas or never again?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because it like almost.
I think you and I would watch this every Christmas if we could.
Well, we would, but like, would this network,
no,
who
never
has financial
again.
responsibilities to
I think
advertisers,
they would shelf it for about like a decade, and then they would re-release it when it became like a cult thing, so that they could like once the money started to make sense, it would come back.
Okay,
get what I'm saying? Do you agree? That they would like be like, we didn't do that. It's not like, don't worry about it, forget about it. And then people would be like, that was fucking insane. I want to watch that again. And they're like, we could be making so much money on the re-airing of this, and then they like re-air it. You know what I mean? But it would take a couple years for people to be like, was that the weirdest thing I've ever seen? And like, do we hate it or do we want to see it again? You're like, I want to see it again.
Yeah, because it's so weird and specific and singular and like insane that it's a train wreck, but also it's kind of special in a way.
As we always say, like there's some things that we've never seen before on film.
Yep.
This would be one of them.
Yeah.
Like all of it. I would be like, yep, I've never seen that before on film, so send it back.
So what is your pick here for the most 80s moment in Scrooged? I have two that are kind of similar, but I want to hear where you're going, because there's a lot of different things that it could be, I think, but what did you pick for most 80s moment?
The first one, we already talked about it, was the Richard Pryor on fire joke.
Sure, yep. Did he set himself on fire in the 80s, or just like the comedy was in the 80s?
I think it was in the 80s.
It was 1980 exactly.
Okay. My second one is the Ghost of Christmas Past taxi. I think those specific kind of taxis give me big 80s vibes.
Kind of like a Ghostbusters taxi almost, still.
Kind of, yeah.
Even though it kind of looks like a 50s taxi, it's like also like an 80s taxi.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to have to steal Rachel's pick for most 80s moment in this movie. And it's Tab Soda.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving her full credit, but as soon as she saw Tab, she was like, Tab. And I was like, yeah, what about it? She was like, 80s. And I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. Yep, that's perfect. What are your two, brother?
Mine are both about the actual production. Them saying, like, basically, like, this is must-see TV. Like, there's no such thing as must-see TV anymore. Like, there's 80s and 90s is, like, must-see TV. But it's just, like, when they're doing their advertisements.
Because we have so much streaming, TiVo, recordings,
nothing
everything.
is live
There's
anymore.
no
Like, things that are live,
must-see.
like,
Exactly.
it's sports or whatever. And even, like, people don't watch sports, just like, oh, you just, like, saw, like, the highlight on Instagram or TikTok, right? Whatever. But, like, the idea of, like, selling shows, like, you need to be at home 9 o'clock
this
Saturday night to whatever night. You know what I mean? Like, that. Yeah. This is what's on. I think must-see TV. And then also, going to the Ghost of Christmas Past, what you just mentioned, He's like, they can't see us. It's not live. It's like a rerun. And just like using
Yes, I like that a lot. I'm glad you brought that up.
TV conventions. Like people would be like, what's a rerun? Like a Gen Z kid would be like, what's a rerun? It's like, well, it's like when a TV show re-aired. Like, well, I can always watch it
do
on
you
Netflix.
think that they don't? I have to ask the children. I mean, I guess
no, I'm sure they do. I know that they do, but it's just like I don't know that they're like people like kids aren't watching
reruns.
Like if you're watching like even like Abbott Elementary, you're not watching it on ABC or whatever. You're watching it on Hulu or what or whatever, right? Like
like the only person that watches Seinfeld reruns actually on Comedy Central is me. I mean, I'm sure there's dozens of us.
No, right, but yeah, like
but not children.
Like kids these days will never have the like either excitement or more commonly probably disappointment to like expect their favorite show to be a new episode that night and then tune in and be like, oh, I saw this one.
Yes. Oh my God. You just unlocked that memory in my brain. I didn't remember that you'd be like, okay, it's Wednesday night. It's Seinfeld night, and they're like, this is the catch-up episode, that they would, like, play the, like, here's the hits from the previous 10 episodes, and you're like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Or you would look at the TV Guide or watch a TV Guide channel, and there'd be, like, the little R, just like...
yeah. Oh, TV Guide channel. Yeah, that's right.
Just a slow scroll.
Bro, life was such a weird place.
I remember I used to watch, like, entire soccer games on ESPN2 because they would never cut to commercials and it showed like a detailed bottom line. It'd be like at my grandparents' house in the 90s, pre-internet, pre-smartphone, pre-whatever. They didn't have a computer there. And I was just like, not pre-internet, but like whatever, pre-modern conveniences and be like, how'd my guys do today? It's like, oh. And they would show like, Arizona Diamondbacks play with the Giants. They have like 3 stats for each team. It's just like, all right, I'm just going to watch.
Yeah, you get the 3 highlights. Yeah, you get the 3 text highlights, and it's like this guy went 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs, and you're like, damn, it must have been a good game. I have to imagine what that was like. That's it. That's all you've ever. That's the entire game that you saw.
But it's better than like not like I remember watching like you watch on like regular Sports Center or whatever, but they would have like either no stats or 1 stat, but like when there's just 45 minutes uninterrupted of like bottom line, it's just like we're gonna show you all the stats, all the stats that matter.
Yeah. Perfect.
And you see like the star goes 0 for 4 and just like, oh, okay.
This is weird. So I was at work today.
Yep.
And I was talking about that Rachel and I are currently doing errands, and while we do errands, we like watch a show over again. So we're starting Sopranos, and I said that out loud. And one of the very young children in our lab was like, yeah, that show for me is Friends. And I was like, it's mind-boggling to me that you're not the first Zoomer that is like latched onto Friends.
No, Friends. When Friends hit Netflix, everyone was just like, "Oh, we're all watching Friends." Like people who had seen it and people who had never seen it before.
Yeah, like I remember my boss's daughter, who's even younger, was like into it, whatever. And I'm just like, you guys realize this was like the be real shit. As Jerry Seinfeld once said, and I said this to her, like, Friends is only famous because it played after Seinfeld. Like, and you had to watch TV as it was on must-see TV, and, like, you just wouldn't turn the TV off, so you just go into Friends. Like, Friends is not great.
But it became it's popular. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's like, yes. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just find it, I'm very glad that you guys found Friends and you enjoy it. Go watch Seinfeld. It's so much better. But that's always my take on this. It's a different thing. It's a completely different thing, but at the same time, it's like, it's the same thing, and Seinfeld's just the better version of it, so stop.
Well, it's also just like, if Seinfeld went to Netflix, like, where did it go? Because when I was watching
on Netflix
it left Hulu. Oh, no, it's on Netflix now, but it left Hulu and went to Netflix. But, like...
Okay, yeah.
Yesterday, as we're recording this, July 1st, all of Lost is back on Netflix now.
Nice, cool.
I think it's back on Netflix, but, like... Because, on X, on Twitter, it's like you like one tweet, and it's just like, oh, you want your entire FYP to be about this one topic? Okay. And it's like, no, I don't, but, like, here's all Elden Ring, and so, like, now it's all, like, people tweeting about Lost, and, like, it's cool to see, like, the show that I loved 20 years ago, everyone just, like, remember this
Holy
insane shit?
Yeah.
It's just cool. Like,
it is cool.
Like, that's the power. I mean... People hate Netflix. People hate on Netflix, but like,
can I make a statement? I want to hate on Netflix because I hate Netflix because Netflix is like brainwash curating certain things for a subset of people that only watch Netflix. Like, we've lost like cable, whatever channel, right? Whatever fucking channel, it doesn't matter, like PBS or whatever, right? And they're like, yeah, man, I watched that entire lineup. It goes like from this show to this show to this show, like me with Seinfeld, right? Like, you're just like, yeah, like this is the channel that I watch on Wednesday nights. And like, you pick everybody kind of had like their team, and it was like their channel. And like, you know, you obviously could watch whatever you want, but Netflix does this, and like it releases something and everybody's like, oh cool, we have a new topic to talk about because Netflix did it. And it really irritates me. Like,
even though it's exactly the same thing as what you're saying.
Yes. I feel like I've escaped this. We've broken out of the Matrix, Joey. We don't need to do this anymore.
Well, now everybody wants cable to come back, though.
I know, which is stupid too. But I'm saying that, like, I have a bunch of friends that are just Netflix friends, and they're like, did you watch the new season of this dumbass Netflix show? And I'm like, no. And they're like, it's really good. I was like, it's the only channel you watch. So of course it's good, because it's the newest thing that just came out on the only channel you watch. You're watching one channel.
Right.
And it's just feeding you their same dumb shit over and over again. And then you're just like, yeah, that was great. And you're like, no, it wasn't. The show is not good. It's not enjoyable. It's just dumb. But you guys just keep watching it because it's a new Netflix show. Sorry, that was my Netflix rant.
That's what you got to do. That's why you got to spend 10 hours a week reading about TV like I do, and then not have time to watch any of the TV.
That's amazing. Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm over here watching Quiz with Balls, fucking Slutty MILFs in a House, and Sopranos reruns. So, like, I'm not saying I'm better than this. I'm just saying, like, at least I broadened my horizons enough to use more than one fucking streaming service or channel. Oh, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Let's talk about the other sort of the ghost characters. So we have Bobcat Goldthwait. Well, he's not a ghost character, but
he's amazing.
The Bob Cratchit type as Elliot, Bobcat Goldthwait, amazing.
I love Bobcat. Rachel said this time she really likes his voice.
Oh yeah,
and I think I do too. Like, it's definitely weird, and I could see that this could be off-putting for a lot of people. But the weird cadence of it keeps you alert. You know what I mean? Like, the pitch change and stuff like that is like, you pay attention to it unnaturally, and I really like it. Also, he's just fucking hysterical. So
I mean, his character, like that version of the character, like he is more deranged. Like, he's less of a sad sack and just like, oh, I'm gonna go get drunk and then shoot up the place, right? Like, it's a very insane 80s take on Cratchit.
Yes, yeah, which is fun.
We then have the three actors I want to talk most about. We have
Please.
John Forsythe, who plays Lou Hayward, Frank's old boss. He's the guy who shows up like looking like a zombie, like looking like the undead. Did you recognize his voice? I'm sure he's been in a bunch of stuff, but I recognize when I looked up what he had been in, he's most known, I think, to people our age for being a voice, I'll give you a hint, in a live action thing. That as soon as I read it, I'm just like, oh, of course. But like, I don't know that I would have heard it or known it had I not looked it up.
I'm taking a guess just based on what you said with no context or actual clues. I'm going to say Sesame Street.
No, he is best known as the voice, I think, of Charlie in Charlie's Angels.
Ah, no, I wouldn't.
When they all gather around the phone, they're like, Charlie. He goes, hello, Angels. But like, it's the same voice.
Yeah.
It's just like his voice.
Okay. I never watched Charlie's Angels, but that makes a lot of sense. That's very cool.
We have David Johansen as the Ghost of Christmas Past, who kind of looks like a Benicio del Toro before Benicio del Toro.
Very much so. Very, very, very much so. Agreed.
But he's also from the New York Dolls, so he's got the look. He's got the New York thing. He's got the everything, and like he's
playing it well. He's a great actor in this movie. It's awesome. I like him at the end when he picks up Claire and he's like, what floor? You know what I mean? That's really fun. But yeah, the jokes on Bill Murray are fun. Everything about him, I'm a big fan. But my favorite ghost...
Carol Kane?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
The downstairs neighbor in Kimmy Schmidt?
I like to refer to her as Munch's crazy wife from Law & Order SVU.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you've never seen Law & Order SVU,
nope.
Right? Okay, well, one of the cops on Law & Order SVU, she plays his ex-wife, and she's like a conspiracy theorist. And like he's also a conspiracy theorist, but she goes off the rails.
Well, I like that she leans into her seemingly naturally insane-looking look.
Yeah.
Frizzy hair,
she plays Batty.
crazy eyes. Yeah.
She plays Batty really, really well.
She's wonderful.
I like it. Yep, she's great. I like the nut shot. I like her flicking Bill Murray in the face with her pixie wings or whatever like that. Like when they're like coming through the window and like all of the it's amazing. I really like her character. Yes.
Like I think that's another thing about this is that the casting just feels spot. Like I would never name this as like what I'm about to say is going to imply that I have a list of favorite Christmas movies, which I do not. But I would never.
Do. Go ahead.
Never name this as like a favorite Christmas movie or favorite Bill Murray movie. Like I don't even. I also don't know.
Where's it on the spreadsheet? Just
17. No, I have no idea. Like I think like as a movie. Well, okay. So here's another thing. The Christmas movies I like that I think you largely like are things that are not really Christmas movies, like Die Hard, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, where it's like it's set at Christmas. There's Christmas is important
100%.
to a thing. This
unconventional.
This is somewhere in between where it's like very Christmassy. It's literally a Christmas Carol, but it's also kind of just like a TV thing.
A bastardization of a classical thing makes me really happy. An unconventional version of a thing makes me really happy. Following what should happen for the holiday pisses me off. I hate everything about it.
So on the spectrum from Die Hard, which is that might not be the most extreme example, where it's just like Christmas movie, it's set at Christmas, but Christmas is only matters that it's Christmas because there's a holiday party, but like it could be a 4th of July party, whatever. Where that's the one in the
whatever. Yeah.
The other end of the spectrum might literally just be a Christmas Carol, where it's like this is at Christmas. Well, no, it's probably like a Santa thing, like Christmas Chronicles.
Okay, yeah, let's use that. That's
on
good.
the scale from Christmas Chronicles to Die Hard, where from Christmas Chronicles is a 1, Die Hard is a 10, not in terms of quality, but just in terms of, well, also in terms of quality, but in terms of like how Christmassy it is.
Yeah.
Where do you put this movie? 10 is Die Hard, 1 is
7.
So more so not Christmas than Christmas.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror in it. It's like very comedic, but it is a Christmas Carol, so I can't put it next to Die Hard.
Right.
So for me, in my brain, it links way more on that side than it does on an actual Christmas Carol side.
That's
you
fair.
know.
This year's Christmas movie, we're doing one more Christmas movie this year.
Red Code
No,
Red.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that one.
Why are we not doing that one? We need to do that one if The Rock ever shows up to finish it.
We could do that one. I mean, I think
I assumed we were doing that one.
I had picked one out before we knew that was a movie. The one that we were gonna do is some movie with Ludacris, dashing through the snow, maybe.
Okay, can I ask you a Fast and the Furious question? I thought during this movie.
Sure.
Knowing that you love Christmas movies, who do you think in the Fast and Furious franchise loves Christmas like you? Or hates Christmas like me? Which characters do you think are the most and least Christmassy?
The real answer, I think every one of those dorks loves Christmas.
But I mean, come on. Not like love. I mean, like the one that's like, we need to decorate. And the one that's like...
Dom loves Christmas.
No. I think that the
You
person...
don't think so?
Rachel, I think that he does. I think he does now that he has a child. He probably is very good about Christmas. Rachel pointed out, she said she feels like Tej probably loves Christmas.
I think Roman loves Christmas, but not in like a... I think Roman loves... I think I can see Roman being obnoxious about, like, we got to put the Christmas stuff up. Like, taking tradition very seriously.
I can see Roman be like, I love Christmas, you get presents. Like, that kind of Christmas person. Yeah. Not so much decorations, but just like, where are my presents? It is Christmas. That... I can see Tej being like the one being like, look, here's my train that like comes through my house that like has like tiers and shit to it. You know what I mean? Like has like a full train set that like runs the entire house.
Mr. Nobody loves Christmas, and not just because Kurt Russell played Santa. Ramsey doesn't, but Ramsey's always alone on Christmas, so it doesn't matter.
Do you know who we think weirdly probably hates Christmas?
Who?
Letty. Don't know why. She just feels like someone that's like, fuck that. Not now with the kid, but I think that when they were like younger, she'd be like, "Are we getting drunk, or are we just gonna sit here all night and watch this fucking movie?"
You're underestimating the importance of Dom's Catholicism. And I think growing up, Christmas was always the day for them.
I don't know. No, because you know what? I can see Dom being like the most important holiday is like the feast of Saint Maria or something. You know what I mean? Like something like very weird. He's like the feast of Saint Dominic is the best feast day because that's my feast. Like that's my name day and like that's the holiday that we really you know what he loves? He loves the feast of Saint Nicholas, like the December 7th one. He loves that.
I just think he's a big traditions guy.
I think he's probably big on traditions. I agree.
I think most of them, I think far more love Christmas than don't.
I agree. I can agree with that. That's fair. I'll settle on that.
I love Karen Allen from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Who's she?
His ex-girlfriend.
Carol? Or Carol, right? Is her name Carol in the movie? Christine? Carol? Something?
Her name is Claire.
Claire, that's what I meant.
But Karen Allen from Raiders of the Lost Ark, marrying.
Yeah, she's super cute. She's very, very cute.
She's so fun. Her. She's also in Cruising, which I just mentioned I saw with Bob recently. She plays the mom in The Sandlot, but yeah, no, she's just wonderful. I just like seeing her pop up in this.
And she she has a face that looks like she's sweet. Like they make her like head of the food bank or whatever, right? Or like the shelter. She like runs the shelter.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that woman definitely runs a shelter. You know what I mean? Like it just like fits as much as we're like, what's her like Carol Kane is just insane and she like looks insane and fits that character. You're like, yep, she looks like.
But also like you watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, you see her like literally drinking men under the table and be like, okay, she's also badass.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
I don't know the actor's name, but my favorite like shot. Alfre Woodard, who plays Grace, his secretary, her son being dressed up like the Christmas tree is so mean but cute at the same time.
When I watched it this time, I said that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Yes, it's very, very cute.
This movie's Tiny Tim, right? And just like
this movie's Tiny Tim, not the production's Tiny Tim.
No, Tiny Tim. The production is Mary Lou Retton because of course. But yeah, Scrooged, because there's Scrooged and then there's Scrooge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the distinction.
And then there's Scoob, starring Zac Efron.
There is, yeah. Are we going to do that new Channing Tatum? Isn't there a new Channing Tatum movie coming out, by the way? The one where it's like he's like
NASA.
What?
Oh, there's two this summer.
There's one that's like a murder house.
Directed. Yeah.
That's wrote and directed by Lenny Kravitz?
Zoe Kravitz.
Okay. Okay. Close.
No, but Channing's like girlfriend. Wife?
Right now, they're dating.
Yeah, he broke up with Jenna Dewan, who is now married with a baby on the way.
Okay,
and then he got with at one point because Lenny Kravitz married Lisa Bonet and had Zoe Kravitz, and then Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet broke up, and then Lisa Bonet was dating Momoa. So for a while, parental figures, quote unquote, were Momoa and Lisa Bonet, and the kids were Channing and Zoe Kravitz.
That's right.
But then Momoa and Lisa Bonet broke up, and now he is dating the girl from Hitman, the Linklater movie.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
But yeah, can you imagine, like, not that he ever would have, but Channing could have called Jason Momoa sort of kind of dad.
This is very much in the sense of the Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Al Pacino's stepdaughter is Super Babe. What's her name?
Camilla Moroni.
Yeah, Camilla Moroni, and then she was dating El Cap. So you have Leonardo DiCaprio is like Al Pacino's like now his stepdad. You know?
I was mentioning Never Going Back to Margaret, and I was just like, she used to date Leo until, and she goes, she turned 25. I'm like, yep.
Pretty much dead on, lady.
Yep.
I think Camilla Moroni made it to 26.
I think
she's
so.
the outlier.
So yeah.
Because everybody was like, whoa. And then he dumped her immediately after she turned 26.
Yeah, as soon as she could no longer be on her parents' health plan.
Yeah, he's like, I don't got insurance for you, lady.
There's so many good Channing Tatum movies. Like, in doing that show, we got through all the bad ones, and we have almost exclusively bangers from here on out. It's just that there's too many other shows to do. But
true.
Where he plays like kind of like a cult leader kind of type figure looks great.
Yeah, mainly because I'm going to see this, so I think that we should just do an episode of this because I'm going to see it.
He also is in a movie this summer where he's in NASA, and Scarlett Johansson is
don't care. This sounds like nothing I want to see. This sounds like a really bad reboot of his acting career. Give me the cult leader murder house one. I want to do that.
Yeah.
Do you have more notes? I want to finish with my hatred of Christmas.
Well, so so in the closing song credits, he says, "Feed me, Seymour, feed me," which we did in
I
Little
have
Shop of
that
Horrors.
note too, which I would have not. Rachel commended me for now understanding this reference because I would not have gotten it before that. I was very proud and very thankful to everyone that picked movies this lap. I think that both Josh and Michael picked both of these, right? Like they tandemly picked both of those. So there you go, guys. I finally know what he means at the end.
The network president early in the movie references Kojak, which, as you knew at one point, maybe not remember, but they are rebooting with Vin Diesel as Kojak, so he's kind of referencing a Vin Diesel thing. But
that's fun. That's a fun
original
fast
Kojak
action.
was Telly Savalas. And then my other note, I'm assuming the answer is no. I can't see a version. Well, okay, I'm gonna ask a question in a different way.
Please.
I wrote down: would you want to see this type, your life, in rerun form? And then I wrote, especially if you have a mullet, but I know the answer to that question is going to be no. But do you think you would learn things if you watched your life's greatest triumphs and failures in this format?
How could you not? Memory is fleeting.
Would you want to?
No. I absolutely don't want to. I constantly relive my life's triumphs and failures in my own head, and that's my memory perceptions of it. To like reinvigorate and rubber stamp those into reality, I prefer to let them drift into memory and become malleable.
Sure.
To see the like actual edition of what happened in like lots of terrifying situations would probably be like the worst. I would just die afterwards.
Do you like his mullet in this movie?
Every mullet is a good mullet.
Okay. Hockey hair.
Yeah, lettuce, the flow.
Okay. Hate on Christmas.
I think that Bill Murray sums it up at the end, precisely my thoughts of why I hate Christmas. And he ends it on a good note, but it's the same reasoning with a different outcome. He finally comes around and he's like, it's Christmas Eve. It happens once a year. That's when you're just a little bit nicer to everyone and you're a little bit friendlier and you look out for one another a little bit more and all this other bullshit. And I hate it because fuck that. Why do you get to be a dickhead 351 other days of the year, but like Christmas you have to be a good person? Everybody's all like up their own ass because they're like extra nice for a week and a half. Nobody gives a shit. Like if you're just a bag of dicks the rest of the year, you're a shitty person. You can't get away with like being good on Christmas. And like a lot of the times, in my experience, in my life, the people that are like so bonered about Christmas usually suck the rest of the time. So, like, you being like, it makes me angry watching it, them like faking this happiness or like faking niceties or doing things because they think that they have to, when dumbass, you could be doing these all fucking year. You're just a bag of shit. And that's what pisses me off about Christmas a lot.
So your issue is not that people are the Christmas spirit. It's people who don't have that same kind of spirit throughout the rest of the year. And then
keep
all
that
of a
shit
sudden,
up. Keep this same energy.
Yeah.
No, it's that the materialism is a big part of it for me too. I hate the material aspects of it, and I often feel very depressed thinking about the idea that we have to continue on the idea of Santa, and that Santa cannot financially be the same across the board, and so some children will feel slighted just because of their parents' financial situations. That's a very depressing thought for me, that I think about a lot during Christmas time. So I hate that part of it, but the other part of it is I hate these people that are like, oh man, I'm gonna do a good deed today because it's Christmas time. It's like, why don't you just fucking do that every day, you dumb shit? Like, I don't know what, like, Sky Daddy doesn't need to tell you to be good this week. Like, just be good all the time. Like, isn't that the whole fucking point of this?
Sky Daddy or is he Snow Daddy? I was Snow Daddy.
I think it's Sky Daddy. Christmas, Joey. I think it's Sky Daddy.
Oh, you're talking religious Christmas, not Santa Christmas.
That's another thing. If you want to get me going,
I don't want to get you going, but you're already going. So keep going.
I'm already going. People have adapted Christmas. Okay, and I think at this point we've even lost.
So you want people to put the Christ back in Christmas? Are you one of these people?
No, keep them fucking keep them separated. I want offspring Christmas. Keep them separated. I want there to be like A religious Christmas, if you're into religious Christmas, that's cool. If you're not into religious Christmas, you want to celebrate Christmas, celebrate the, like, being good to people parts of it, whatever. Like, at least try to adapt that, even if you're a bag of dicks all year. The part that that people do want to do is lights and presents. Get the fuck out of here. That's the shittiest part of both ends, and you're like, that we can agree on. It's like, you're fucking idiots. This is so stupid.
Wait, so if you get to pick your 3 things that you keep for Christmas, what are your 3 things you're keeping for Christmas?
Family dinner, always, because I think that that's a very, very nice, important part. That's why I like Thanksgiving over Christmas, hands down, because it's Christmas without the presents. A nice family get-together dinner, 1. 2...
It's got to be 3. You got to hit 3. You're struggling at 2 already, but you got to hit 3.
I got to hit 3. Hot chocolate.
You can't do food for more than 1.
And the third one,
I already vetoed this. You can't do food and then little food. You can't do big food and then little food.
I do like tactful, tasteful Christmas lighting.
Okay, that's 2.
It's 2. Third one, maybe like fun time, wintry outdoors activities, but aren't really Christmas themed. Like maybe like seeing people enjoying ice skating, but me not ice skating.
I think you can say other people having a good time.
No, because it depends on what they're
okay.
doing. Yeah, because if they're doing something to piss me off, then because like adults having a snowball fight, get the fuck out of here. I think you guys are just annoying. Like send them right to the depths of hell. I hope that you all burn. Like children playing outside having a snowball fight quietly, not near my house, would be enjoyable.
So your 3 things are family dinners, like family and friend dinners, good food, number 1.
Tasteful,
tactful Christmas decorations.
No, not decorations, lighting. Specifically only lighting. I hate decorations.
And then kids having a nice time. As long as you approve.
As long as I approve of their level of sound and proximity to me.
Okay.
Like from a far distance that I can't hear them and they're very far away from me. Like if I like looked out my window down a hill or like up a hill and kids were like sledding, but I couldn't hear them, I'd be like, oh, look how cute that is. They're having a good time.
That was somehow both easier and more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think so too. I've never thought about the 3 things that I like about Christmas, and it was really fucking hard. I was pulling at straws there near the end. Though. We eventually got there. Yeah, we did.
I do think those are 3 of the nicer things about it, though, too.
I think that generally, like, I don't hate Christmas, or even the idea of Christmas. I hate the weird holes that people have gone into about what they like about Christmas, and I think that it's for all the wrong reasonings. And I think that, again, to bring it full circle, Bill Murray sums it up in a thing. Be nicer more often, be friendlier more often, take care of people more often. And if we all did that, the world would be a better place. Like the fucking song. It would. But again, no, you only want to do this for a week and a half fucking at the end of the thing after you fought someone over the last Tickle Me Elmo. So who the fuck cares? Stupid.
Anything else you want to say about Scrooge? You want to watch this trailer?
I think we should watch the trailer.
All right. This is posted by Paramount Movies. Scrooged trailer, Paramount Movies. Posted 2 years ago, so who knows? But it's 1 minute, 40 seconds, a short trailer.
Okay, I am ready when you are, my brother.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
PG-13. I never thought about the rating. We talk about this. I never look at the rating.
I got into broadcasting because I like to give.
See? Tasteful Christmas lighting. I like that.
Myself hurting from giving too much.
Fire these people.
But it's Christmas.
Bahama.
Me.
He said the line.
Me.
Are going to be visited by 3 ghosts. Expect the
When he drinks and
Good
it all
morning,
comes out of him.
angels. Yeah.
God, tomorrow's
Amazing.
I'm the ghost.
Okay. She's amazing. Yeah.
Christmas present.
I had a funny feeling.
I love this costume too.
I can't get the antlers glued onto this little guy.
Staple.
Don't you dare.
It's definitely like a modernized version of the trailer because like it has like very modern like logos and fonts and text and.
Yeah, it seems like this is like a remastered trailer.
It's never too late. You can always change.
Bonks him. Good head bonk in this.
Girl enough to give her 12 sharp knives.
For a couple of hours out of the whole year.
Also, again, for jokes for parents, jokes for kids, like her giving him the Kama Sutra is like, okay.
Forget something, big man?
Yeah.
Mommy, what is that book?
No, he nicely picks a pose when he like is like, we could do this again. It just looks like you're hugging, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's well played.
Not the original trailer, but a nice trailer.
It was a nice trailer. If I saw that trailer, that looks too Christmassy for the movie. Don't you agree?
Well, I think
They sell that as a classical Christmas movie, but I think Scrooge is more bent than that.
I think it's interesting because like at a certain point, it's like everybody knows what it is.
Yeah. Now it's like, oh, here you're gonna rethink of Christmas because of Scrooge, even though everybody's probably already seen this movie. This isn't actually a trailer. That's a trailer for it coming back or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, Mad Max Fury Road 2.1 million. Scrooged, 1988, directed by Richard Donner, starring Bill Murray, Karen Allen, John Forsythe, John Glover, Bobcat Goldthwait, David Johansen, Carol Kane. Has been seen by how many people? On Letterboxd.com.
875,000.
You are way too high.
I thought this would be the just movie that everybody's seen. Way too high. 250,000.
Still too high. One more guess.
Too high at 250. Jesus fuck. 97,000.
152,000 people.
That feels wildly low to me.
43 people I'm friends with or I follow on Letterboxd have logged this movie. So
that's what I mean. Yeah,
low.
it's to me it seems like everybody I know has always seen this movie forever. You know what I mean? But I guess maybe we're just like entering a range where it's like the Zoomers on Letterboxd don't know what Scrooged is or something. Who knows?
Average rating of a 3.3, most common a 3, then a 3.5, then a 4. How many of those 152,000 people? Keeping in mind, we're not doing this in December, so like I'm sure in December.
I was gonna say we're in July, but we get the Christmas in July. If they started Christmas in July yesterday,
how many?
I'm sure in December it triples. You're right.
Having their top 4 favorite films of all time.
113.
Too high.
47.
Too low. One more guess.
83.
79. 79 people. We're gonna go to Mar.
I was close at the end there. Okay.
At Cambot. Hi, girl. Mar did not review Scrooged. But Scrooged is Mar's number 4 favorite film of all time. Number 1 is another movie.
Other Christmas? Any other Christmas movies?
No.
Okay.
But number 1 is a movie we have done this lap.
Caddyshack?
We did not do Caddyshack this lap.
When did we do Caddyshack?
We've never done Caddyshack.
Why the fuck did I just watch Caddyshack recently? Just for funsies?
I guess so.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I just assume I watch all movies because you tell me to, so sorry, I don't know.
That is wild.
Okay.
No, we did not do Caddyshack. We have no plans to do Caddyshack.
Okay. I'll believe you now. Write in, family@kid12.me if Joey made me watch Caddyshack secretly and then brainwashed me. A movie we did this lap. Is it, Rocky Horror Picture Show?
We did not do that this lap. We've never covered that.
What's the other one? What's the other one that I thought was Little Shop of Horrors?
It's not that.
Okay.
Like, I know that this is, like, something that's both easy and also impossible for you, another movie this lap, but I did not expect you to say 2 movies we just straight up have not covered.
Spaceballs.
No. On the main feed. This is one that Josh and Michael have picked.
Dude, I can't remember what they picked. Was it a musical?
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Number 1. Labyrinth, number 1. Scrooge, number 4. Number 2 is a movie with a non-car vehicle on the poster.
Fun.
We could have did it that lap. We did not do it. The star of this movie died last summer. Beloved icon. Is it 80s cult classic? Non-car vehicle on the poster.
Okay.
Was a movie that this was originally a show, and this is like a movie, not version of the show, but like a continuation.
Chips? I don't know. What is it?
Comedy.
Comedy.
The
Not
story
Airplane.
of a rebel and his bike.
A rebel and his bike.
I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel.
Is he Easy Rider?
No,
is
you're. It's.
Oh, Big Lebowski?
No. 80s.
What are you talking about? 80s. What is it?
Well, if you're thinking Easy Rider, that's what they're playing on, but it's like basically the opposite movie of that.
Dumb and
Adventure
Dumber?
comedy.
Dumb and Dumber? What is it? Adventure.
Star of this died last summer.
I don't know who the fuck that is. You could say all these clues. It doesn't help me.
This is directed by Tim Burton.
Directed by Tim Burton.
You said the magic word.
Batman?
Mm-mm.
That's not 80s.
Michael Keaton also did not die last summer. No, Batman is 80s. Batman's famously Batman 89.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Okay. But there's been a bunch of Batmans. That's what
But
I'm saying,
no,
not
but like
the ones
that
I was
first
thinking.
Batman,
The Tim Burton one.
is famously 89.
89? Okay. He said the magic word.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is it? A rebel and his bike. A rebel and his bike. What is it? I don't know.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm not a big Pee Wee Herman person, so
Neither was I, but this
sorry.
movie is wonderful. It's an absolute delight.
I went to go see it in a park once that they were playing it in Pittsburgh on this one giant park called Flagstaff Hill, I think. Yeah, at Flagstaff Hill. They would play movies in the park during the summer. And you could just like bring a blanket and they'd put up a big projector and you'd sit there. And it's a really big hill, but we would all just stand way in the back and smoke weed. So I saw it once doing that. That was the only time I saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And I was like, I don't care about this movie. But like all the cool kids would like hang out in the back, smoke weed. And then you just like, you tell your parents you're going to watch a movie in the park. Everybody'd meet there and like our entire high school would just like hang out there and smoke weed. So
Feels like that's to be expected.
yeah.
Now, Mars number 3 is, I would say a Letterboxd All-Star, but also specifically Our Game All-Star. It's a movie you love.
Okay.
I'm going to go through the same clues that I always go through.
Okay.
One of 3 movies to win the Big 5 Oscars. Best
Okay.
Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Screenplay.
Okay.
The Best Actor won it for only like 12 minutes of screen time.
Okay.
There is a moth.
Silence of the Lambs.
There you go. You always get on the moth.
Oh, it takes the moth to get there, but I'll get there on the moth.
Labyrinth, Pee-wee, Silence of the Lambs, Scrooged.
Silence of the Lambs is a really cool tattoo idea. Let me write that down while you're just saying that.
You know what you should do, although you should never do it, is I guarantee people that have this tattoo, the moth over the lips like it is in the poster, just like right here.
On your face?
Well, like, you know, because like if you look at the thing, you see the, like, it's over the lips, right? Like, people for sure have that tattooed there.
I don't think so, bud.
You don't think anybody has a Silence of the Lambs face tattoo?
I don't think so.
People have the face tattooed on their leg, but not on their face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like, it's a weird spot. You couldn't get it to like look right just because it's like short here, long. It just wouldn't work.
This is
I don't
insane.
think. Oh, those are some good ones. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
But
that's
this
good.
one,
I would just want the moth. That
particularly
one's
crazy.
sick.
Like, you
I
want,
was
like,
circling that. Yeah, I want like I think the moth is kind of sick. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, I like this one with the eyes in it. That one that's like in the like 4 across on the top.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, that is like the movie poster. That one's like really fucking sick. Okay, cool. Thanks for the ideas, guys.
Well, thank you to Mar for letting us do your top 4, and thank you to Joshua and Michael for sponsoring
Excellent
this entire
pick.
lab,
Yes,
and thank you to
yes.
all of our sponsors, Cassie Wilson, Nick Burris, Alex Ellen, and Justin Kleiman, not sponsors, but patrons. Cassie Wilson, Nick Burris, Alex Ellen, and Justin Kleiman, Brian Rodriguez of High School Slumber Party, Wes Hampton, Jerry Robinson, Dan the Duke, Hayden Renato, D. Donato, Michael McGann, Lane Middleton, Lindsay Lewandowski, Nate Milton of the Kings of Sport, Jason Rainey, Tom Price, Mike Gallagher, Josh Buckley of Whole Lotta Wolves,
Yep.
Michael Moser, Christian Larson, Taryn Newman, Aaron Willows, and Natalie Absolute, Randy Carter, Josh Goularm, and Jessica Collins, a.k.a.
Montez.
Thank you all for sponsoring the $5 a month level or above. If you want your name there, bonus episodes every other Monday, early access to all the main feed episodes, and much, much more, toofast2forever.com. Joe, our next episode on the main feed is A Life in the Fast Lane.
Oh, yeah. I've been living fast.
But our patrons between now and then will get the bonus episode of Sudden Death.
Great movie. Great episode. Classic 80s movie.
From the year 1995.
Classic. Go watch Sudden Death. Go watch Sudden Death and then listen to the episode. But I'm super biased. I fucking love that movie.
Anything else to say about Scrooged before we close up shop?
No, that's an excellent movie. It felt weird watching it in July because I also I do only watch it near Christmas time. But long live Bill Murray and his girlfriend Khalees, I guess. Do you know this?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah.
For all things Too Fast, Too Forever, go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/TooFastTooForever, or at TooFastTooForever on all the socials. Email us, family@cageclub.me. We've got a couple really good emails for next week, so please keep sending them in. Family@cageclub.me. Check out our Patreon page at TooFastTooForever.com and our store at cageclub.me/shop. Come back next week as Brian and Roman first arrive at Customs. Deleted scene. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too.
And we will tell you all about it
when we see you again.